The power of standing alone, friends. Let me tell you something straight from the heart. Sometimes in this wild ride called life, a woman like Zara has to walk her path solo in the vibrant city of Lumora. It's not because she's chasing solitude, but because the folks around her don't vibe with the fire in her spirit. When Zara strides through Lumora's bustling streets, she sees people clinging to others just to drown out the quiet, to push away the ache of loneliness. But a woman who chooses to walk alone, that's Zara, radiating strength. There's a fierce beauty in her solitary steps, especially for a woman who knows her worth. Forging inner strength, Zara's independence and self-reliance didn't just appear like magic in Lumora's starry nights. They were carved through grit, trials, and moments of quiet reflection. A woman who stands tall on her own, without a crowd of friends to cheer her on, isn't just getting by. She's owning her life. Zara knows her power doesn't come from the people around her, but from the spark deep within. In a world obsessed with parties and social media likes, it's easy to forget the magic of standing on your own. Lumora's society might whisper that you need a squad, but Zara, she's rewriting that story, the courage to rely on herself. Everyone talks about needing a tribe, a crew, a support system to conquer life's challenges. But here's the truth, not everyone's meant to follow the pack. Zara, in her quiet Lumora apartment, learned to trust herself because, at the end of the day, she's her own biggest ally. This self-reliance isn't about shutting people out. It's about knowing her worth doesn't depend on others. She doesn't need a group to feel seen, valued, or enough. Her value? She carries that in her heart, shining bright, no validation required. Unshakable resilience. Zara defines her worth every single day. When life throws curveballs, she doesn't run to others for answers. She digs deep, trusting her gut, her wisdom, her scars. This inner fire makes her stand out in Lumora, where so many lean on others to feel whole. When she faces setbacks, she doesn't crumble. People leaving her life, she keeps walking. Challenges, she faces them head-on. Zara's self-sufficiency makes her unbreakable, a force who thrives no matter what storms come her way. Facing adversity with grace. When tough times hit, Zara taps into a well of resilience she's built over years. She's learned that she's the only one she can truly count on, and that's more than enough. This isn't just about emotional strength, it's about navigating Lumora's chaos without needing constant applause or approval. She makes her own choices, owns them, and shapes her life with confidence. Zara's independence also means standing firm in her beliefs, her dreams, and her vision, even when Lumora's trends tempt her to blend in. Tuning out the noise. It's so easy to get swept up in Lumora's fast-paced vibe, chasing what's popular, following the crowd. But Zara, she's not here for easy. She's here for what's true to her. This takes guts and a self-awareness most never find because they're too busy pleasing others. Zara tunes out society's chatter, listening to her own heart, her own needs. Her choices reflect who she is, not what Lumora expects. This independence isn't just survival, it's empowerment, a radiant force that lets her thrive in any moment. Self-reliance as power. Zara's independence is her superpower. She doesn't lean on others to fix her problems or light her path. She's her own guide, carving her way through Lumora's neon-lit nights. This self-sufficiency is rare, a jewel that lets her shine even when she's walking solo. Self-reliance isn't just about decisions. It's about caring for herself in every way. Mind, heart, and body. She's not waiting for a hero to save her. Zara's her own hero, building a life she sustains with her own strength. Choosing relationships wisely. This independence doesn't make Zara cold or distant. When she seeks support, it's on her terms, not out of desperation. She's built a life she can hold up on her own, and that's pure power. But here's the beauty. Her self-sufficiency strengthens the relationship she chooses. Zara doesn't need people to complete her. She chooses them because they add meaning to her life. In Lumora's crowded cafes, her connections are balanced, respectful, and real, built on value, not necessity. The freedom of independence. Independence is Zara's freedom. It unshackles her from Lumora's expectations, judgments, and noise. She walks her path, guided by her own compass, knowing she's enough wherever she goes. In a world that says more friends equal more worth, Zara flips the script. She knows it's not about how many people surround you. It's about the depth of those ties. Quality over quantity, always. Her few true connections nourish her soul far more than 100 shallow ones ever could. Valuing depth over numbers, Zara doesn't chase popularity in Lumora's social scene. She's not after a packed contact list to feel worthy. While others crave big circles for validation, she seeks depth, real, soul-shaking connections. True friendship isn't about a crowd who barely knows you. It's about those few who get you, who lift you up, who challenge you to grow. Zara's not here for small talk or fake smiles. She craves conversations that spark, relationships that matter, people who see her for her. The strength to let go. Choosing quality takes courage. It's easy to fill your life with acquaintances to avoid the quiet, but Zara's wiser than that. She knows true connection is rare, a treasure worth waiting for. She's not afraid to let go of relationships that don't serve her. People drift in and out of Lumora's glow, and that's okay. Zara doesn't cling out of fear. She's confident enough to release what doesn't align, even if it means a smaller circle. Her peace is worth more than pretending. Patience for authenticity. Letting go isn't easy, especially when history's involved, but Zara knows holding on to toxic ties only dims her light. She protects her energy, choosing solitude over fake friendships. When meeting new people, she's patient, not rushing to fill her life with faces just to look connected. She takes time to see if their values match hers, seeking authenticity over perfection. In Lumora's fast world, Zara's calm, waiting for connections that feel real, that add fire to her journey. The power of solitude. Solitude isn't Zara's weakness, it's her strength. In Lumora's quiet corners, she finds space to reflect, to grow, to know herself deeper. Without friends, she's free to ask, "Who am I when no one's watching?" These questions aren't easy, but they're vital. Self-reflection isn't about being harsh. It's about curiosity, compassion, digging into her dreams, fears, and desires. This process, though tough, is where Zara's growth blooms, sharpening her awareness and fueling her independence. Facing herself head-on. In Lumora's constant buzz, it's easy to lose yourself, to define who you are by your roles, friend, sister, colleague. But alone, Zara strips away those labels. She faces herself raw, asking, "What do I want? What do I believe?" This honesty is daunting, but it's where magic happens. Without others' voices drowning her out, Zara hears her own. That inner voice grows loud, clear, guiding her toward a life that's hers, unfiltered by anyone else's expectations. Growth through reflection. Through solitude, Zara uncovers her patterns, her triggers, her strengths. Without friends to distract her, she focuses inward, listening uninterrupted. Personal growth isn't a one-time win, it's a lifelong dance. Every challenge, every stumble is a chance to evolve. In Lumora's stillness, Zara forms her own thoughts, free from the need for approval. This independence of mind is her power, letting her see the world through her own eyes, not the crowd's. Healing in solitude. Solitude forces Zara to face what she might avoid with friends: old wounds, insecurities, unmet dreams. It's tough, but it's healing. Alone, she processes pain, lets go of heavy stories, and builds a future free from past weight. She discovers her resilience, learning she can handle life's storms solo. This realization builds unshakable trust in herself. Zara becomes unstoppable, knowing she's got the strength to face anything Lumora throws her way. Celebrating her journey. But solitude isn't just about facing hard truths. It's about celebrating wins. In Lumora's quiet, Zara reflects on how far she's come, honoring her growth without needing applause. She sees her worth, her unique fire, and that builds her confidence. Through reflection, she gains clarity on her dreams, setting goals that align with her heart, not Lumora's trends. Alone, she's free to chart her path, guided by her values, her passions, her truth. Rejecting society's rules. Zara's biggest rebellion, living authentically in Lumora's pressure cooker world. She rejects the idea that her worth is tied to how many friends she has or how often she's at parties. Society says happiness means fitting in, but Zara knows her value comes from within. Her talents, her heart, her grit. Conformity's a trap, and she's not falling for it. She's writing her own story, living on her terms, free from Lumora's shallow standards. The freedom to be herself. This authenticity comes from Zara's time alone, where she learned who she is at her core. Conformity only breeds frustration, but stepping away from the crowd aligns her with her purpose. She's free to focus on what matters, her goals, her passions, without chasing others' approval. Zara's confidence lets her stand firm, even when her choices clash with Lumora's norms. She's not here to fit in, she's here to shine as herself. Authentic connections. Living authentically doesn't mean Zara shuns connection. She's picky, surrounding herself with people who respect her true self, not who they want her to be. Her relationships are real, built on trust and honesty, not Lumora's social games. By rejecting society's timelines, how many friends by this age, what life should look like, Zara embraces her unique journey. She's not racing to meet others' milestones. She's crafting a life that's hers, full of meaning. Inspiring others, Zara's authenticity is a beacon. Her courage to live unapologetically inspires others in Lumora to embrace their own paths. By rejecting conformity, she sparks a ripple effect, challenging norms and giving others permission to be themselves. Living authentically is trusting she knows what's best for her, even if it looks different. Her worth isn't tied to friends or likes, it's in her soul, and she honors that every day. Emotional resilience. In Solitude, Zara builds emotional resilience, a gift born from navigating her heart alone. Without friends to lean on, she becomes her own anchor. Lumora's noise tempts people to seek validation, but Zara turns inward, finding strength in herself. Emotional resilience means bouncing back from life's punches, handling pain without breaking. She feels deeply but manages those emotions healthily, learning to sit with discomfort, to process sadness or fear on her own terms. Mastering her emotions. Zara's solitude is a classroom for her heart. Without social distractions, she processes her feelings fully, becoming her own comfort. This emotional independence is her superpower. She doesn't need others to validate her pain or joy. She's secure, content, unshaken by life's highs and lows. Challenges don't crush her because she's learned to stand strong alone. In Lumora's whirlwind, Zara's emotional clarity makes her a rock, grounded in her own strength. Setting boundaries. Solitude teaches Zara boundaries. Alone, she sees where she's overextended, where others have drained her light. She prioritizes her peace, saying no without guilt, protecting her energy. This clarity lets her let go of what doesn't serve her, keeping her balanced. Her emotional independence doesn't isolate her, it strengthens her relationships. Zara enters connections whole, not needy, valuing them but never clinging out of fear. Her strength radiates, drawing the right people to her, keeping her balanced. Her emotional independence doesn't isolate her, it strengthens her relationships. Zara enters connections whole, not needy, valuing them but never clinging out of fear. Her strength radiates, drawing the right people to her. Handling life's twists. Zara's resilience makes her adaptable. Rejection, disappointment, or surprises don't break her. She's learned to stand tall in solitude. If a friendship fades or life shifts, she picks herself up, no crutch needed. This makes her flexible, ready for Lumora's unpredictable turns. Her self-worth grows, untied to how many friends she has or how often she's invited out. Zara knows her value lies in her character, her perseverance, her heart, not in external cheers. Prioritizing growth. Walking alone, Zara prioritizes her growth, asking, what makes me happy? What do I want? Without Lumora's social noise, she focuses inward, nurturing her mind, body, and soul. Self-care isn't a luxury, it's her foundation. She exercises, journals, meditates, finding peace in nature. Her time is precious, and she spends it on what fuels her: personal projects, new skills, hobbies that light her up. Zara's intentional, choosing what aligns with her values, not Lumora's trends. Trusting herself, Solitude builds Zara's self-trust. Without others' opinions, she leans on her intuition, making choices that feel right for her. This confidence frees her from seeking approval, tuning her to her inner voice. She respects herself, refusing to settle for less than she deserves. In relationships, work, life, this self-respect guides her, helping her face challenges with grace. Zara's purpose grows clear in Solitude, driving her to chase passions and leave a legacy that's hers. A life of purpose. Zara's purpose gives her direction, keeping her focused on long-term dreams, not Lumora's distractions. She makes decisions that align with her vision, finding fulfillment in growth. Prioritizing herself isn't selfish, it's necessary. By caring for her needs, Zara becomes stronger, showing up fully for others. Walking alone isn't weakness, it's a journey of discovery, resilience, and independence. She emerges whole, fulfilled, ready to face Lumora with strength, dignity, and unshakable confidence.